A homemade fix is rarely as good as something made by professionals. It might work for a while, but when put under real pressure, it falls apart. That's exactly what's happening on the battlefields of Ukraine, where Russian troops are improvising defenses for their tanks, and those same defenses are slowly destroying them. The problem? Russia's once formidable tank force is now trapped in a tragic paradox. Its tanks are being killed by the very armor meant to save them. The drone threat that changed everything. Tanks used to rule battlefields. With thick armor, heavy guns, and terrifying presence, they were symbols of unstoppable power. But in Ukraine, they've met their match, not in other tanks, but in drones. Modern warfare has changed the rules. Small, cheap kamikaze drones can hover, wait, and then strike tanks from above, exploiting the weakest part of their design. The roof of the turret weapons like the US-made Javelin were already dangerous because they attack tanks from above. But drones are worse. They're cheaper, easier to deploy, and hit with devastating precision. Every Russian tanker knows that one overhead buzz could mean their last second alive. So Russian troops began building crude metal cope cages, makeshift roof armor meant to stop these attacks. The rise of the cope cage. The idea behind the cope cage is simple. Create a steel frame or mesh above the tank to force drones or grenades to explode before they hit the actual armor. In theory, it's a clever bit of battlefield innovation. In practice, it's been a disaster. The cages come in all shapes and materials. Wire, metal bars, even wooden logs. Russian soldiers call them Tsar Mangals, while Ukrainian troops mock them as turtle tanks, because they make the vehicles look slow, clumsy, and absurd. But while they may look ridiculous, these contraptions reflect Russia's growing desperation. Instead of being equipped with factory-made reactive armor systems, many Russian tank crews are welding together scrap metal in field workshops. The result is a mix of bad engineering, heavy weight, and unreliable protection. The cope cages rarely stop drone attacks for long. Sometimes they delay destruction by a few minutes. Often, they make things worse. When protection becomes destruction. The extra metal adds hundreds of kilograms of weight on top of the tank's turret, which stresses its engine, transmission, and suspension. Russian tankers themselves have admitted that these modifications are killing their vehicles. In an interview published by Militarny, one Russian tanker said, "The chassis survives, but the transmission and gearboxes don't." Another described a tank with a cable-made cage that failed after just 10 kilometers. Mounting a cage on the turret burns out the rotation motors, sometimes leaving crews unable to aim or move the turret manually. The added drag ruins balance, making tanks slower and harder to control. In short, Russia's tanks are breaking down under the very weight of their homemade armor. The result is grimly ironic. Tanks meant to be protected from drones are instead immobilized and abandoned, turning them into easy targets. The missing reactive armor. To understand why Russian crews are resorting to such improvisation, you have to look at what's missing: proper explosive reactive armor. This technology, when correctly installed, uses small explosive blocks to counter incoming projectiles by detonating outward, essentially fighting fire with fire. Explosive reactive armor was designed to give tanks a fighting chance against missiles and drones by absorbing and deflecting blasts before they penetrate. However, Russia's supply of explosive reactive armor has dried up, and what remains is outdated or faulty. Much of it dates back to the 1990s, with some even from the Chechen Wars. Worse, many crews aren't trained to install it properly. The UK Ministry of Defense reported that Russian soldiers often mount explosive reactive armor blocks incorrectly or skip them entirely, leaving fatal gaps in protection. In 2022, Western analysts noted that many destroyed Russian tanks showed evidence of poorly fitted or missing explosive reactive armor, leading to catastrophic turret explosions. Facing these shortages, Russian units began creating homemade reactive armor. They've been stripping explosives from mine-clearing systems and packing them into metal boxes welded to their tanks. According to one Russian tanker, these improvised blocks work about 50% of the time and only at specific angles. It's a deadly gamble, but it shows how explosive reactive armort the situation has become. The mechanical consequences. Every kilogram of extra metal on a tank increases wear on its engine, treads, and transmission. A cope cage or homemade armor might add more than a ton of weight, which tanks like the T-72 or T-80 were never designed to handle. The more the crew tries to strengthen the armor, the faster the machine breaks itself apart. When a tank's transmission burns out, it's a sitting duck. Crews can't repair it under fire, and any attempt to do so exposes them to drone strikes. So they abandon it, leaving behind another trophy for Ukrainian forces. In short, Russia's attempt to protect its tanks has backfired catastrophically. The very armor meant to save them is destroying them from within, the shrinking tank fleet. At the start of the full-scale invasion in February 2022, Russia had about 3,300 operational tanks. Within 7 months, nearly 1,000 were destroyed, almost one-third of its active fleet. By 2025, open-source intelligence shows the situation has worsened dramatically. Russia now has fewer than 3,000 tanks left in storage, and only about 700 of those are actually combat-ready. Many are outdated, T-62s and T-64s, pulled from long-term storage, often missing modern targeting systems or night optics. New production is slow, limited by sanctions and lack of high-grade materials. For every few tanks Russia builds or refurbishes, Ukraine destroys several more. As a result, Russia's strategy has shifted from quality to quantity, throwing whatever it has left into battle, even if those tanks are barely functional. From pride to desperation. This isn't just a technical issue, it's a symbol of how Russia's military prestige has eroded. The tank was once the crown jewel of Soviet and Russian might. The T-72, T-80, and T-90 were supposed to be unstoppable. Now they're being mocked online as iron coffins and burning turtles. Instead of advancing as armored spearheads, these tanks often serve as bait to draw Ukrainian fire, deplete ammunition, and provide minimal support for infantry. Russia's leadership doesn't seem to care how many are lost, as long as they inflict some damage before being destroyed. It's a cruel calculus that treats both machines and men as expendable. The foldable screen solution. As the cope cage fiasco became obvious, Russia's defense industry tried to come up with a new idea: foldable anti-drone screens. Developed by the Karbyshev Military Engineering Academy, these new structures are supposedly modular, collapsible, and more aerodynamic. Early reports claim they're about 1.5 times more effective than earlier cages, but experts remain skeptical. No data on their actual weight or battlefield durability has been released, and if they're as heavy as previous versions, the same mechanical problems will persist. Even worse, the design appears to be copied from Ukrainian prototypes. Ukrainian units have been using similar hood armor for months to protect vehicles from drones, and Russia's version seems to be little more than a knockoff with a new label. It's another case of imitation instead of innovation, the death of the tank era. All of this points to one uncomfortable truth: the tank, once the king of the battlefield, is losing its crown. The war in Ukraine has shown that cheap, intelligent, and agile drones can outmaneuver multi-million-dollar machines. The old belief that armor equals survival no longer holds when enemies attack from the sky. Mobility and awareness are now more valuable than brute force. For Russia, this is a nightmare. Its doctrine and industrial base were built around the tank as the centerpiece of warfare. But now, those tanks are slowing down, breaking apart, and being outsmarted by smaller, cheaper weapons. Even if Moscow introduces newer systems like the high-tech Arena M active protection suite, early reports suggest those too are being overwhelmed by drone swarms. A war of attrition and adaptation. As of late 2025, Russia controls roughly 20% of Ukrainian territory, far less than it aimed for. Its offensive power has been blunted by constant losses. Both human and mechanical tanks that once led assaults are now either stationary gun platforms or abandoned husks. Ukrainian drones, built for a fraction of the cost, continue to dominate. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces have perfected the art of drone warfare. They're striking fuel depots, command centers, and tank formations deep behind the front lines. Every time Russia adapts, Ukraine evolves faster. The battlefield has become a testing ground for modern warfare and a graveyard for outdated thinking. And that's the brutal truth. Russia's tanks are being destroyed not just by Ukraine's drones, but by their own so-called armor. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay informed, and see you in the next one.